is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, everybody. You're applauding. You're pumped, Dan.
I'm so pumped,
You love
man.
it. You love it.
300 reviews.
We didn't.
We have what? The people in my ear are clapping. They're applauding. There's
In
an
your
applause
ear?
going on.
We're up to 130. We're up to 130.
130 is
Yeah.
a pretty big jump from where we were.
Yeah.
If memory serves me.
Most recent
first
review.
of all, really quickly, welcome to DCOM Descendants. It's
Welcome.
great to be here today. I'm Brand. This is Aaron. That's
Hi.
Dan. Every week, we break down a Disney Channel original movie. We're going straight through, and that brings us to today, which is Tru Confessions. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, so many of you have left us reviews on Apple Podcasts. It helps people find the show. It means a lot. Dan, you said we got some new ones. We're up to 130, which is really nice.
Yeah, it
Do you want to
is.
give me one of them?
Yeah, this is from Coco Witt.
Coco
Coco says, the best cereal sans milk is Life cereal. I can't explain how or why, but you've got to trust me. I think we asked for that at some point or another.
It sounds like something. Yes.
Then
we
Coco
did.
says there was an entire month of high school wherein I ate Life cereal dry out of a plastic baggie on the drive to school, and it hit every time. Shout out to Channel 25 Disney in Nashville.
No doubt. That's Nashville. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. I had a snack. I'm trying to remember what my snack of choice was for the bus. But
Mine was a Pop-Tart.
yeah. Oh, I think I did too. I mean, it should come
You
as no
guys and your
surprise.
school buses and snacks.
Dude,
so cool.
Just so much shady doings on the bus.
Friday morning, I would save that Pop-Tart because my first class, as we were just talking about, was sociology. And Friday mornings, we'd be watching Survivor. So I would eat that Pop-Tart. We'd watch Survivor. It'd be a good...
You did that in a high school? Mm-hmm. Man, you had the worst sociology teacher on the planet. Oh, my God. Shout out to, who is it? Coach something?
Yeah, Coach Basha.
Coach Basha. What are you doing?
Dude, I
I learned a lot about sociology.
Was there anything better? You're the difference here, Dan.
Exception?
Exception, because you're like a coach that was a teacher. Like you're
People were in for it when they got in my
the
class.
different. Like most coaches, that's not the case. They get thrown in. It typically is like a history of sorts, and it is typically always bad. Like the worst history teacher I ever had was a coach, and he just showed up History Channel documentaries like every day.
I would tell people regularly, I'm a professional teacher. I'm an amateur coach.
Oh, that's good.
In that order.
But you can get that NIL money, so it's good. You're good to go now. I was just talking to Brian about how crazy the bus. His boys are going on the bus a couple days a week, and just how crazy the bus is. And
The bus is crazy.
there's so many things where you're like, oh yeah, that's not a thing anymore, right? And I feel like buses, they're an essential. Some people can't get to school, but you need them. But just the idea of having like 30 kids on a thing, and there's
With
only
no
one
supervision.
adult aside from somebody whose only qualification for being around children is that they can drive big things.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
it.
There's another adult on the bus?
No, just the driver.
okay.
Yeah. It's just the driver.
Yeah, it's wild.
So
in
they're supposed to-
Greenville, are buses like public buses, or do you have to pay?
No, the transport, it's public
There's
transportation.
public. Yeah, public. It was public's
I
bus.
nannied for a girl when I was in college, and she had to like pay to take a school bus.
Is
to
it
school.
because what? It was actually a school bus?
Yeah, it was
She
a school
did-
bus. It was to public school, but the town, it wasn't a part of the town's budget. So like, if you wanted your
What?
kid to ride the bus, because she said like one year she didn't pay for it, and I was like, what are you?
Was this New Hampshire or
talking about?
Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Really? That's shocking.
Libs.
And it was a rich town, and I was so confused. I was like,
That's really crazy.
That's wild.
Are kids just not taking the bus, and they need to like? I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, she was like, you have to get your bus pass, and I was like, oh, like public transportation. She's like, no, for the school bus. It was
That's
wild.
crazy.
It
I
was
thought that
wild.
was just a part of it. Like I
I
didn't
mean,
think,
education's a right. It has to be a part of it, right?
yeah,
Like,
but not the. I guess it's not a right to get to. Once you're there, it's a right.
yeah, that's a weird one. Never heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It does seem like everybody's delitioning right now, aside from me. So I guess we
I mean,
should
the
do
problem
this.
can I tell you what's driving me crazy?
It's there.
Beer is part of it, and a beer
can't-
getting warm is the worst
I
feeling
know.
in the like. I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we'll get to the delish.
It's time
we'll
for the
talk about school buses
delish.
later.
Can't spell decom without D for delish.
That's exactly right. It is time for the delish. If you are interested in having some sort of goodie while you watch Tru Confessions or just watch us talk about True Confessions.
Yeah.
Aaron, you've brought something for us today, and this is a full meal. It's a full meal.
Full meal,
Drink,
yeah.
food, etc.
Yeah. So sometimes I try to pair the delish as something like cutesy or gimmicky from the movie, and this movie is neither cutesy nor gimmicky,
That's right.
and it was really hard for me to think of something. I tried to watch it outside of when we watch it together so that I could find a delish. And I just realized it's a hard watch. I don't think I want to do this 2 days in a row. And I was really just kind of craving like a comfort food. And so I decided that for this, we are just going to have a bowl of popcorn. I went with movie theater butter popcorn.
Yeah.
You know why this works, though, is because when Shia sits down to watch the movie, he
They have
eats
popcorn.
popcorn.
There's that
so
too.
there you go. The tie-in's clear as crystal, folks.
And we're, kind of making it our own. We have some dill pickle seasoning, some pumpkin spice seasoning. You can get any seasoning you want.
We'll allow it.
I also like white cheddar.
We thought about not allowing
You
it,
can mix
but
in different candies, give it
That's
a
right.
whole, just have fun with it, whatever you would
got
like.
to.
Just sit down and watch a tough movie.
If we have
I
to
love-
watch this movie and do this episode,
and
we
also
gotta,
just-
I love
for
you
your favorite-
describing popcorn to people. So
Yeah.
you can pop it, and then,
I didn't say you could pop it.
well, you have to pop it. But just you
If
talking
you
about
want,
how you
if
can.
you want to pop it,
you
you
can
can.
add stuff if you
Yeah.
want.
you
Some
can
people
dance if
don't.
you
Some
want.
people
Some people don't. You're so right.
If you don't add anything to your popcorn, like,
And,
you're
and,
a
I,
monster.
and I poured beer for us because that's
yeah,
also,
well, you gotta.
Yeah, what's the beer tie-in? It just is.
just a comfort drink.
Sometimes you need something to get through a
Something,
movie.
yeah.
You know.
What's the drink? What is the beer we have today?
It's a Stella.
You're gonna love it, Graham.
That's not bad.
Yeah. You're coming up. He's
We're
getting there.
doing it.
You're gonna be a beer drinker by the time you're 40. If you think that's not bad,
No, this
Stella
is
Artois is the most
this is-
beer-tasting beer of all
Really?
time. Yeah.
this doesn't taste like anything.
Exactly.
That's what they want. Let me try.
And the real point of DCOM Descendants is coming around. It's to get Brandon to drink a beer. And we did it. Cheers.
Yeah, we did.
I put
Cheers.
the pumpkin spice seasoning on this, so let me see what this is about.
Can I try one?
Lovely. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk about True Confessions and I think so much more, actually.
Wow.
I don't know. I've
promises.
considered it.
No problems if it's not true.
Confess.
or
DCOM Descendants.
Yeah, popcorn's
Yeah, exactly. I never get popcorn. But when we go to the movies, if I go with Brandon and his brother and they get a tub of popcorn, am I gonna eat the popcorn? Yeah. Absolutely.
I love popcorn.
Welcome
back.
There was a fun year in my life where I didn't eat popcorn because I had to run a popcorn booth at a thing, and it was so old, and I
Could you give us less information than what you just gave us?
ended the day covered in like grease burns, and I just didn't eat popcorn for a year.
I didn't eat popcorn in a year. I had to run a popcorn booth
At
at
a thing.
I'm not gonna ask any follow-ups.
Summer camp. It was registration day at summer camp, and I was in charge of the popcorn booth every Sunday. And then at the end of the summer, I was just covered in popcorn burns, and then I gave up popcorn for a while.
So it was more the burns than it was like
Yeah.
the smell or whatever. Yeah, that's fair.
It was just traumatic.
Don't blame popcorn for what the oil did to you.
That's so true.
Don't blame Jesus for what the church
Listen,
did
we've
to
gotten
you.
past it. I'm clearly over it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't talk like in therapy about popcorn.
No, I never did.
Today, I'd like to talk about my popcorn burns.
When you go to therapy, are you 80 years old?
Yeah. Today, hello, therapist.
Are you Bill Cosby?
it's
No,
Zoom.
no, I'm not. I've been told I'm not allowed to do the voice.
You did it anyway.
I didn't. That was me at therapy.
Do you is therapy just a chance for you to work out your bits? Like,
Yeah.
It's imposter syndrome.
just
For me,
paying someone
listen,
to listen
guys,
to
for me, therapy is the stage. You know what I mean?
It's like, what do you think about this one? I'm working on a guy named Dave Dressel.
You doing
He
any
needs a
open mic
tagline.
nights?
Dude.
Hi, I'm Dave Dressel. No, that didn't work. It's me, Dave. There it is.
Say I'm not doing that in therapy occasionally. True Confessions originally aired on the Disney Channel on April 5th, 2002. It was written by Stu Krieger.
Stu.
It was directed by Paul
Giamatti.
Hohen.
Hone.
Could you imagine?
No. No, I cannot.
Who's done all sorts of stuff, including
Like what? Can you give me three examples?
We'll see more of his work with Cheetah Girls, One World,
Oh, not
Camp
the
Rock, The
original?
Deuce,
Oh, so he was
The
sequels.
Final Jam, Zombie, Zombie 2, and Zombie 3.
All
He's
three
all.
of them bad
So
boys.
he's still at it. It appears.
Those are going to be a new musical experience for me. I haven't
So
seen any of
excited
the
for
zombie
you.
movies.
Oh my gosh!
We'll get the screens up
Also
together.
jump in, read it and weep. Eddie $1 Million Cook-Off. You wish, and of course, True Confessions. Oh, and Luck of the Irish. So we've seen him before.
Man.
He's going to be.
He's a
Those are all
DCOM
DCOM.
legend.
This is a star. He is a star
He's
in
DCOM
this
royalty.
field. That's exactly right. It is starring one Clara Bryant and Shia LaBeouf.
And Clara went on to do amazing things.
Did she?
No. Oh.
Okay. The shade at Clara for no reason.
For no reason at
Which,
all.
like, you watch this movie and it's like, wow, Clara is great. And then
It's
her
cra-
IMDb is like nothing.
It's crazy to think that this movie came out 1 year exactly almost before Holes. A movie like, how did he make this and Holes within a year of each other? Like, that's wild.
He's
to
an
me.
actor.
An actor.
He's an actor. He can do different things. We meet Trudy. You can call her True if you want to.
I think they're gonna.
Okay. And she is just your average teenage girl who
Going to high school.
yeah, and she aspires to one day have her own TV show. Mm-hmm. Nowadays,
dream.
she would just want to be a professional YouTuber. But
Yeah.
Back in
the day,
2002.
you wanted your own TV show.
Yeah.
She would just be on TikTok making
Yeah, she'd be on
millions.
TikTok.
The barricades to getting on TV 22 years ago, way different than what they are now.
Yes.
Being on TV now, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Being on TV then, huge deal.
I mean, we're on TV.
That's right. That's it. That
Yeah,
you
we-
said it.
We
That's
have
all
a show.
you. Yes.
We have a show on YouTube
Yes.
that we just film, and we don't even know if anyone watches, but we put it on the YouTubes.
We did something for South Carolina Public Radio that's going to be on South Carolina ETV. Good, you got it. Yep, bing, bang, bong. That's as quick as they were cutting in this movie.
Bing bong.
That's accurate for the
Man,
movie.
where's the sunflower when you need it? Nah.
There's a movie about kids with special needs.
Oh!
What if we quick cut it like an Eminem music video?
I have sunflowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but should we put a trigger warning that if you have, like, I don't know, seizure warning? Like, that was a quick cut.
Ah, they'll be fine.
Okay, well, sorry, guys.
What was I going to say about that? Oh! Yeah, if you could subscribe, that'd be great.
TV and all.
TV and all. Subscribe to the TV.
Subscribe to the TV.
Smash that subscribe button. So she always has her camera out. She always is recording everybody, whether or not they consent to being filmed. She is going to record you and maybe use it in a documentary at some point. When she is out with her friends, you'd think, man, she's got it all. Her life is perfect. She's
Got
got
it
two
all.
great friends. She's loving her life. But at home, it's a little bit more complicated. She has a complicated relationship with her family. She has a twin brother named Eddie who has some form of a learning disability, which we learn is caused from losing oxygen at birth. They slide that right in there. And she loves her brother, but also feels like her parents only care about Eddie. They give Eddie the benefit of the doubt. They don't give her anything. They don't understand her. And she thinks that Eddie is the favorite because of all the attention, the passes that he gets whenever he like acts out or whatever. She thinks that the parents only care about Eddie. At school, True has a major crush. A major
Billy
crush.
Wiseman.
Billy Wiley.
Tommy Wilder.
It is Billy. Billy Wiley. Billy Wiseman.
Billy Wiley?
Billy
Billy
Wiley.
Wiseman?
Hi,
Was I
it's
right?
me, it's Billy
Billy
Wiley.
Wiley.
I'm going to go with
Hey,
Billy.
therapist, what do you think about this one? It's Billy Wiley.
Billy Wiley.
I'm up to no good. I'm going to trip you.
Could even be Billy Meyer.
Billy Meyer
Billy
is
Meyer.
the one, yes.
Therapist isn't going to like that.
No, I think they might. What you don't know is my therapist is a clown in full clown garb.
Honk, honk.
Honk, honk, indeed. It is clear that she loves her brother because she goes to check on him every day at school. It's like her way of like, you know, showing
He goes
that she
to school.
cares.
She hasn't gone to homeroom yet, but he is already deep into a
And
project.
from what we see in her
project.
classes,
Project-based learning.
there's about a 12 to 14 to 1 ratio student to teacher. In Eddie's room, where there are kids of all different levels of developmental delay, it's probably 30 to 1.
There were 2 teachers in there.
Yeah. One of the teachers has a tie.
It's probably 15.
One
to
of the
1.
teachers has a tie.
Yeah.
So,
Special education in 2002 was top notch.
Crushing it.
Tru finds out that there is a video contest for the local TV channel, and the winner,
She trades a cold
Gets-
drumstick for that news.
that's right, gets her own TV show, which is actually kind of
For a day.
misleading. Yeah, it's
She
for a
gets
day.
basically, they get to show her short movie.
Yeah,
That's a short film. That's all they're doing.
that's all it
She
is.
didn't get a TV contract.
It's misleading.
Kind of
No,
confusing.
I thought she got a TV show on the public.
No, I think they were just showing her movie. But it is weird. It's
I
mixed.
thought so too, but now watching it now, I'm like, oh, this is it.
Because when she talks, she's always like, I can't wait to have my own TV show. But what we see is the winner is.
Yeah, they just aired her winning thing. Like it hadn't. I just assumed that it hadn't
So
started.
are we to think at
the
the end of this
flyer
movie?
said like TV show.
Are we to think at the end of this movie? Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, but you're here. You've probably seen the movie. Are we to think at the end of this movie that there are more TV episodes coming of her home camera with her and Eddie?
I mean, I would think that she would then have to go into the public, like TV, station, and actually work on something with other. Like, I don't think it was based on that.
So
Topic,
why did that have her win? Why was that the thing that
just
had
to
her?
show what you can do and like what I don't know.
Huh.
If someone knows
I don't
for
know.
sure.
In Princess Diaries, they had a public
Kinda
access TV show too, and I just imagined it was like that, where they just gave her a half hour at like a random time.
I thought she got that 1.5 hour.
She gets
but
to work
you know
on
what?
bits. I'd love my own TV show where I can work on my own bits.
Again, you could have one.
We have one. We have multiple. We have so many shows where we work on
I'm
our
Billy Wiley,
bits. It's not
and
there
I'm
yet.
gonna trip you.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
I do like the
I'm gonna trip
catchphrase.
you?
I'm going to trip you.
Yeah, it's his thing.
Okay.
He's a
It's
prankster.
his thing.
All right, I'm
He's
sorry.
a part
I'm
of
sorry.
it.
Billy, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Do you forgive me?
No,
Okay. We'll
I'm
get there.
gonna trip you.
Okay, well, I'm taking your popcorn.
Oh no. Her mom tries to be like, realistic about it. It's like, I don't want you to get too excited. There's a chance that you might not win. But that doesn't let Tru stop her. Tru is all in on this.
Don't you love when you're so excited about something and the first thing your mom says is, well, the chances are very slim. There's a lot of talented kids out
It's
there.
tough.
That's
It's tough
really
out
good
there.
parenting.
Yeah.
Now,
Tru yells at her mom a lot throughout this movie. She did yell at her after this and said basically exactly what Aaron said. And the mom doesn't crush it 100% of the time or even often. But, be nice to your parents sometimes, As a parent now, I'm such a boomer now.
I will say as a parent, that what you just said, like when your kids get really excited about something and you're not sure it's going to happen, your initial response is to not give them any inkling that you're lying to them. So like my initial response is not to be like, yeah, man, because then if it doesn't happen, they're going to look at me and they're going to think that I lied to them, even though I didn't. My initial response is to be like, now wait a minute, but you're still right, which is
I think
you're
there's a
squashing.
fine line
It's so hard.
Yeah,
It's
of being
so
like,
hard.
this is a really cool opportunity. Let's talk about it, just so we understand.
It's one of the few, like this movie presents a lot of interesting quandaries that you have as a parent, especially of twins with different strengths and weaknesses that I could get into later. But that's one thing this movie does well is that a lot of this stuff, hitting it correctly is actually really hard to do. And they show that. So there's that.
And I'm sure when we watched this as kids, we got that. The difficulty
The
that
nuance
is
of parenting.
Yeah, I'm sure that
12-year-old
really
me
came
was
through.
like, this movie is crushing it.
No, we were like, you tell her, Tru. Your mom's a B.
I just remember being really sad.
Maybe Jack?
Yeah. What? And so Tru is like, what am I going to make my project about? It's so tough. So she turns to a teacher that encourages her to make it personal and feature something that really matters to you.
Yeah.
Write what you know type of thing. And so she decides that she's going to make a documentary loosely about her brother, but specifically about the brain.
Which all 14-year-olds are interested in.
Of course. Big time.
And the good news is her dad is a brain surgeon, so he's going to be super helpful.
She's going to interview him, right?
She's going to interview. You got to interview him, right? She does not. she works really hard for a while on this movie and is like, working on it day and night, getting big books and stuff, and is trying to put as much information into it as possible. She invites her friends over to see the movie. They do make popcorn, and the problem is it's boring AF. Everybody is bored. It
appears to be like 45 minutes long on a lecture about the brain.
Yes, it is. It's just she went way too hard on the
Eddie
info.
is thrilled to be a movie star, and after 4 minutes, he falls asleep.
Yeah.
Which
And who
fair,
can blame him?
which fair.
One example of her friends being the best people on the planet is this example where they do their best to stay awake and be positive until they absolutely have to be honest with her. I mean, 40 minutes. At some point, I've been like, so is this is the whole thing?
You'd make it a whole 40 minutes before you asked?
I would not. I'd be like, I would do a few
I would ask
like
a lot sooner.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of like preambles, like 3 minutes in, I'd be like, this is so good. Like 6 minutes in, I'd be like, oh, it was really cool. And then about 10, I'd probably be like, so is it all like
For me.
is it all like science stuff?
Thank you.
Is it all like science education, like science class?
Yeah, she borrowed like the science lab at school.
I think I got it. I think we're good. Not these friends. They just try to look interested.
And that's all they can.
That's all they can do.
That's
They're
it.
great friends. They don't get enough screen time in the
Amazing.
movie, but they're great friends.
Yeah.
So she ends up turning to the internet to get some advice on message boards.
The best place
You
for
love
it.
that 2002 internet. It's so good.
You
It's the
won't. You
best.
also will never find bad advice on a message board. It's
don't think
all
so.
great.
I think it's 99% solid for sure. And so she goes onto this message board to basically like, I need help, kind of like knowing what to do with my brother and the challenges that I have, but also like what to do with my projects. I want to help use this documentary, this project to help my brother, but I don't know the best way to go about that, basically. And she begins to get some feedback from someone named Dee Dee. And Dee Dee actually is really encouraging her to make the documentary more personal.
If only someone like Dee Dee like was in her real life. You know what I mean?
So spoiler alert, Dee Dee is actually
Mama.
her mom.
Dee Dee is mama.
Yeah, is mama.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, this is crazy, but mom actually gave her that same advice after it, but it hits different from Dee Dee. Tru does not know that.
What's
and
going on
begins
with
kinda
Dad in the movie, Brain? You haven't talked about him as much. Is he just not
haven't.
around?
He is kind of around. Dad, here's how I would describe Dad. Dad, he's a brain surgeon.
He's a brain surgeon. Okay.
Ew.
Ew, thank you.
Gross.
Not enough people talk about that. If
Gross.
You're a brain surgeon, gross.
Gross.
Sicko.
I wouldn't tell anyone that if I was you. It's gross.
Yeah, keep that
I
to
just love in
yourself.
the beginning of this movie, it's like she just found out for the first time that her dad is a brain surgeon.
Yeah. At 14 years old. Can you believe this?
Ew.
Ew,
I wish my dad could be something less embarrassing than brain surgeon.
icky. So, he does that. He, works a good bit, but when he's home, he's like, they mentioned that, hey, whenever Dad gets home, we got to be chill. We got to be chill around
His
Dad.
job is so stressful.
It's so stressful. And he has some anger problems, can't handle when Eddie accidentally drops the glass bowl.
Oh, how dare he?
He's like,
Let's say you had glass dishes. How many dropped dishes will it take for you to switch to plastic?
One. It's so stupid.
And someday they're going to get through a meal where nobody breaks anything.
I just can't believe that. Look, forget the premise of the film. If you when my twin boys are 14 years old, how many times will they be served something out of a glass dish at just a regular family get together? Hardly ever. Like, how many times will they be asked to hold a glass bowl out over not the table? Never. That's crazy.
I'm putting it in my calendar. I'm coming over.
Who do you think you are? I am. Yeah, but if you come now, if we have guests, a little bit different because typically you do things a little differently when you have
No,
guests.
I'm like
over.
bringing a glass bowl of broccoli over
Yeah, of
for
course.
dinner.
Yeah, they're gonna fight
it-
over that broccoli.
probably handing it. Hey, can you guys take this?
Can you guys take this to
boys
Mom?
you guys be big helpers?
I don't think I'd say that to
Well,
them
what's
at
wild
14.
is my wife is an OT. Like they get to do like my kids started using knives when they were 3. Like my wife started teaching them how to cut stuff
And they're
when they
getting
were
really
3.
good at throwing them.
They were like, and they're good. Like they love to cut stuff. So like, that's a developmentally appropriate. But who are you trying to fool, man? Who are you trying to impress? My kids still drink a cup that's plastic at the table. So do I. I don't like. Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
So yeah, that's just kind of him.
I glass in my own home.
Yeah, you just got you want to be safe. You wanna,
Why take the risk?
why take the risk?
Pint glass.
Why are we trying to impress anybody? So so dad basically just like has an anger problem is basically what you need to know.
Yeah.
And doesn't really know how to best relate not only to Tru, but also to Eddie and
Some of the time.
Some
Other
of the
times
time.
he does a great job.
He tries. He
goes
goes and
to
he
the
plays
soccer
baseball.
game. He plays baseball. He takes him for a hot fudge sundae. He goes to the soccer thing. He cheers him on. He encourages. He says, just have fun. There is a solid third of the dad's screen time where he is not only present, but actively being a good father.
Yes. Yes. So one of the things that you begin to see in this movie is how the peers at school kind of talk to and treat
They
Eddie.
bully Eddie.
They
Yeah.
bully Eddie.
Yeah.
And for the most part, Eddie is able to either ignore it or he doesn't understand what's happening or whatever. But we see a few of these different instances. One time.
You got it. Is this Stutter Boy?
be
Is this
okay
the
then.
character you're working on?
Yeah, it's called Stutter Boy. Stutter Boy.
I don't think that's really kind. But,
Not the movie to do that.
So when they all go to like this fair thing at the park, and
What?
do you want me to keep going? Do you want, guys? This isn't nice.
I'll tell you the joke later.
Okay.
But it's Aaron's joke. I wanted her to get credit for it. It's really funny. It's too good for this podcast.
Wow. Okay. So
Podcast is a couple years too late.
she
Have we even thought about it?
she can't quite find Eddie, and Eddie ends up showing back up, and he has a hat on, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Where'd you get this hat?" And he's like, "I can't tell you," and he starts like playing it off, and is like, "Don't worry about it," but then points over, like, "I got it from these boys. They gave it to me, so I don't have to give it back. They gave it to me." And she's like, "You can't take stuff from strangers," so she takes him back over, and wouldn't you know it, one of the boys,
Bobby
is,
Wiseman.
is
Billy
Wiley.
Meyer.
I'm gonna
It's
trip
Billy
you.
Wiley. I'm gonna trip you. It's Billy Meyer, and turns out Billy Meyer is just straight up the meanest.
Meanest person
The
alive.
worst.
Yeah. She's like, "Take your hat back," and he's like, "Why would we take the hat back when we all three took turns spitting in it?" And
Also drops a few hard R's in
a
there.
few
Yeah,
hard
you got it,
R's, and it's tough. It's tough, and it was tough for everybody, including Tru. Tru gets so mad. Eddie Billy is sitting on this
The
bridge, and she pushes him off the bridge. He lives, I think.
No, we see him again later. He
Okay,
lives.
great. Yeah, he is alive. That's great. But has it coming? But that's just one of those instances that you see where Eddie is not treated the best by his fellow high school peers. And so she's kind of takes this and is like, I want to try to put a spotlight on Eddie and show people, like, one, how amazing Eddie is, but also how life is a little bit different for Eddie, and try to bring some understanding for that. So she begins going like full into this project. She finishes it and she mails it off. And she's waiting. Well, of course.
Does she do anything fun?
Well, yeah, that's
For good- for good
important.
luck? For good luck?
Because a lot of people consider mailing in submissions and just doing it
Yeah.
willy-nilly.
You got to put a
if
little
will.
sauce on there.
She does put a little sauce on it. There's a little
glitter.
Glitter directly on a VHS tape. So great.
Is that VHS tape in any sort of protective casing?
No, just straight in the middle envelope.
yeah.
That's how they send those
Glitter.
things.
We're gonna wave some feathers straight into the
Straight
envelope.
in there.
Bada
They'll be
bing.
able to play that bad boy, no
good
problem.
to go. And she's waiting. She really wants to find out if she wins, and she does. She gets a letter in the mail,
wins.
and she wins. And her mom is like, "I'm so proud of you," and Tru
And
is
you're like,
like,
wow, this is gonna be a great moment where the mother and daughter
Yeah,
can
it
finally
is.
connect.
True then looks at her mom and says, if everybody sees this and makes fun of me, it's going to be all your fault.
But
And-
isn't this after she comes clean about being Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, I
missed
forgot
that.
about the DD part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mom says something that, she says advice to Tru that Dee Dee had also said to Tru, and Tru freaks out, assumes that her mother was doing it to, like, not necessarily blackmail Tru, but get Tru to say things that she could then, like, hold over her. And then doesn't really listen to her mom. So
Yeah.
it's a good time for everybody.
Yeah. And I think this is an important thing, is if you are ever trying to be somebody else on the internet, use different lingo. You got to use the different lingo.
I was gonna say don't.
Don't.
That's
don't is
another
the
way
best
to go
advice.
about it.
Don't.
There's another way to go about it, for sure. But if you do, if I did kill her, here's how.
If I did.
If you
Why
are.
does it always come back to you killing someone?
That's O.J. Simpson.
It's O.J. Simpson
He
bit.
wrote a book.
He wrote a book. If I did it.
If I did it.
I know, but Brad makes a lot of jokes about killing people, and I'm beginning to have questions. I haven't heard from your
He's
wife
just
today.
saying
Just
if
take
he
this
did.
popcorn. Just take it.
Just take it.
Just take it. It's good.
It's weird.
So
We've been doing it all movie,
Yeah.
all episode.
So she finds out. She's so excited, and it is time for the big premiere. And they watch it, and it's tough. It's really it shows everything that she wanted to show. It shows how amazing Eddie is. It shows how life is sometimes difficult for Eddie. It shows how the way in which people have treated him over the years has influenced how he sees himself. And all this stuff it showcases in this movie. And Dad's nowhere to be found.
He's not,
Where's
yeah.
Dad? Where's Dad?
Dad's not in the film, but he's definitely at home with the family.
He's not.
Oh.
He's not.
But he's going to watch it all from a discreet location called a hospital.
Yes, he's at work.
Hospital hallway.
And he watches the entire documentary, and he's this other doctor's like, it's tough being a doctor, huh? You're just never at home. And his dad's like,
Good thing
yeah.
those nurses had the TV tuned to the public
Yeah,
station.
with the volume up.
Volume up, and had the TV turned not from where they're sitting, but
That's
towards
right.
the counter.
Yes, yes.
You need to face it out. People need to see.
People
You know?
checking into the hospital want to watch public broadcasts.
I know I do. And so he begins to be like, man, I'm not around. And then I guess he just can't let it go. So
Can't let it go.
he goes up to Tru the next day and is like, hey, watch it again. Where's your old man? Where's your old man at, huh?
People watching would think you didn't have a dad.
If I got a burn disc for you,
She pulls out a disc from her backpack and says, you're going to want to see this.
She actually says you're not gonna want to see
Yeah,
it.
it's a hit tape. It is.
And,
It
and
is.
Dad says I can handle it, and then Dad
I
can't.
can't
It's just
handle it.
reel after reel of
And-
her dad being mean and angry and yelling over and over again at his children. That's all it is on a loop.
And based on the time lapse, that clip tape is 45 minutes long.
Oh, it's so long. It is just the greatest hits, and the greatest hits are every single experience. Apparently, that dad was mean. It was brutal.
Yeah, more or less. And so then she goes outside and she kind of makes up with her mom as well. And
Well, also on that tape is a clip
yes.
of she was filming herself saying, if I ever do make a TV show about my life, cast someone else as my mother.
Yeah.
And you see her mom in the background get real, she looks hurt.
Hurt
And it was
people
the
hurt people,
first
you know?
time Tru realized that her words have actions and
What?
consequences. So she goes out and has a heart to heart with her mom in their park of a backyard.
Yeah.
It's massive.
It's
She
a
had to
big- yes.
find mom.
Yeah, it's tough out there in the jungle.
She in
Yeah.
the rose garden? No, I think she's over.
That's right.
She's in the autumn garden. Got it.
Auxiliary garden.
Cool, cool,
I
cool,
believe.
cool,
Yes.
cool.
That's right. And basically the movie ends with Tru and Eddie on the couch, and they're watching some clips. And he keeps wanting to watch it over and over again. The shot of him getting a goal in soccer and him celebrating with Tru, and he talks about how he likes this clip and he doesn't want anything to
it's
change.
them
It's
together.
them together as twins.
Earlier in
and
the
just
movie,
like
there
this-
was a scene where he asks Tru if she's mad at him because they don't play together anymore. And he misses being her twin.
Yes.
Yeah. And are we skipping over the library?
We'll skip over. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
we don't need to talk.
Just
Cool, cool, cool.
There's
most
a
poignant scene of the movie.
There's other scenes.
Skip it.
There's other scenes where Eddie It's tough.
He gets lost. I'll do it quickly. You can take a drink. They're at the library. Here, bud. They're at the library, and Eddie accidentally walks onto an elevator in this giant mall of a library. Ends up on a different floor, can't find Tru, and freaks out. Tru and her friend, who do we know his name?
We don't.
I'm sure he has one.
I think they said his name once in the opening shot, and then we never address him again. But they hear him scream, immediately take off to find him. We see world's worst librarian who sees a child in distress and just goes, "Hey, shh, calm down," and then tries to get them, kicked out of the library. And Eddie's crying, Tru's trying to comfort him, and the friend, again, top-notch friend, is just like, they need a minute, go away. And there's this sweet scene where Eddie just realizes that, he's different and life is more difficult for him and he doesn't want to be different. And Tru is just listing all these great qualities about him. And she's like, yeah, you are different, but that's what makes you, you. And being you is you are the brother that I love. So we haven't done one in a while, but shout out to my brother, JJ. Love you.
Shout out.
Shout out to...
Ooh. Is it time finally for Jesse? Or another Pat or Josh?
I'll shout out Jesse.
Okay.
Who are you going with this week?
It's going to be Jim again. If you can believe it. Yep.
Jimbo! We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back.
We're not going to cry during this break. It's fine.
Talk about how overtime and all that good stuff here on DCOM Descendants.
Having a blast.
Hello, welcome back to lighthearted fun time with your friends.
We can throw all the popcorn, beer, and leaves we want at this thing.
That's exactly
It's
right.
not what it is.
It's great to be
Good thing I
back.
saved a confetti cannon.
Boom, boom. Wow, 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 wow. It's time to share our thoughts on Tru Confessions in our segment Overtime. It's where we're talking about how this movie aged over time and our thoughts on it overall. I do have some letterboxed reviews if you would like for me to read those.
This is the 1 week where I'm like, I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Bring it.
Emily says 5 stars. Holy S, Disney Channel. This was a for real emotional ride I wasn't ready for at 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's
Fair.
on you.
You gotta know
That's
when
on you.
gotta know when to watch this one.
9
We
a.m.
watch it
Saturday morning.
Everyone
Holy
knows
cow.
9 a.m. on a Wednesday is
Yeah.
the ideal time to watch this one. Clara says 3 stars and astutely says what we said, which is Tru would love to make
Exploitative.
Yes, YouTube videos of her brother for AdSense if this
There
was
we
made
go.
today. That's
yeah,
true.
Exactly. She'd be reeling in all that money from Google AdSense.
That's right.
Exactly what she'd be
Vinyl
doing.
Chick says, whenever I tell people that this movie exists, they look at me like I have 2 heads. Fair. Cute boy, no problems. I wrote this review. I said, the hardest I've ever cried in my life was watching this movie at 12 years old. I have no idea if it holds up. It's probably pretty offensive, but oh my God, my life was changed when I watched this movie. My computer just died, so I'm pulling up the notes again. I have two more, and one of them I need to read because it made me laugh out loud. Sorry, I have 3 more. Sam says, I can't wait for Mark Wahlberg to be cast in Tru Confessions: Age of Extinction. Which is great.
That's a funny bit.
That's great.
Because Shia was in the movie.
That's exactly right. Mark Wahlberg, bring him in. No one will know. Lily says, F you, Paolo. Which is just for you.
Yeah, it's
Aaron.
for me. Thank you. I agree.
It's tough. You think you know a guy.
Yeah.
You think you know a guy.
think you know a guy.
He also was on, this is Billy Meyer, was Paulo in the Lizzie McGuire movie, and then he's also on Pretty Little Liars, and he's also a jerk there.
Man.
Wow.
And then
Cast type.
But he's kind of like in this, and also in Lizzie McGuire, where he comes in, he's like the cute new boy, and you're like, oh, look at him, and then it turns out he's one of the bad guys. So if you ever see this guy in a movie, don't trust him.
And then Cheese Puff 5000 said they put an Oscar bait plot in a DCOM.
They did.
It is
Yeah.
time for us to share our thoughts on this movie. Aaron, I know you saw it back then and you've seen it now.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Tru Confessions?
Yeah, this is a movie that I remember watching when it came out. Maybe saw one more time since then, but I don't think so. And it's exactly how I remembered it. The scenes, like they are in there. There's definitely some language that I don't agree with and don't support that is used in this movie. Both in the ways that, the negative language used to describe Eddie, and also the frequent use of handicap and all these different ways to describe the situation. But overall, I do think it is a good, I don't know if good, but it's a good portrayal of like a family who doesn't have it all figured out, who is trying to love and support and be there for each other. Where also like shedding light on an important topic and bringing some empathy from their surrounding community. So am I going to watch it again in the next 24 years? Probably not.
Yeah, that's going to be tough in y'all's rankings.
Yeah.
Because if your whole time you've been like, what movie would I most like to watch again?
Well, that's a tiebreaker.
Oh, it's a tiebreaker for you?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just
yeah.
Brand's sole
my
ranking method. That's
ranking
what he
is based on I
said.
put it somewhere, and then if I'm kind of iffy on like one or the other, the
Yeah.
tiebreaker is
That's why Phantom of the Megaplex keeps moving up my list.
Because that one, So not a movie that I'm going to watch frequently, but yeah, it hit all the notes for me. I definitely got emotional in the library scene. My younger brother, he's not my twin, he's my younger brother, but he is one of the most important people in the world to me, and I would do anything to protect him. So that sisterly love, that hit for me. And I'm not emotional about it. And on to you, Brent.
This movie, I also saw it as a child, and at the time was relatively influential in my life, and is like what was one of the reasons why I started like making videos in middle and high school, and I think that the movie is what it sets out to do. I think it accomplishes. I think it is chock full of really good performances and some very powerful scenes. Is it a DCOM? I don't know. This is heavy stuff here. Heavy stuff.
It almost should have been like A Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
a very special episode.
I think this is like like one of the toughest movies for me to put on my list because of my past with it, because I think that overall it's actually really well done. They're doing some things in this movie. They're taking some like artistic choices that I think are interesting. The performances are really solid. And the way in which they handle parenting, I think, is really interesting in this movie, and something that as a kid I totally missed.
Yeah, totally missed and didn't
you
care about.
missed that part of it, but as a parent myself, I spend almost every day thinking about the way in which I responded to my kids and thinking like, did I handle that the best way? Like, and the answer is probably not. Like you miss it a lot as a parent, and in this situation in this movie, I noticed it. Not only that it was happening, but that the parents were dealing with that, whether they were dealing with it out loud or not. A parent. The mom going onto this message board and finding her daughter on there and being like, this is a way for me to connect with her. Is it the best way? I don't know, but it's a way for me to connect with her. Is like a real dilemma. And there's stuff like that. Like DCOMs are typically so cut and dry. And it's like, they did this. It was silly. It was fun. I had fun. Great. And in this one, it's like, it's a messy movie, and so it's messier for me to figure out where to put it. But yeah, I agree with you. There's obviously some stuff in the way in which they talk about Eddie. Like them using the R word is obviously a very bold choice, but that's not like that to me is like, okay, you want to do that. Like you want to be true to how kids talk to this guy.
They were probably kind.
Dan, you and I talked about it, but like that's just the way that it was. And so,
and that is a really like Eddie getting called that name and then him equating that name with being stupid when he's like, there's a scene on the beach where he's mad at the kite and he's saying it's a stupid kite. It's a stupid kite. The kite is, and he uses the R word to describe the kite. And that's a scene where Tru is filming him because she films everything. And I think it's when it clicks for her, like Eddie's realizing what is going on around him and like the way that people are treating him. he's taking that all to heart. And
Yeah. It's similar to like when Color of Friendship used the N-word, and it's like, do I want like my DCOM to be going for shock value when like presenting the message of the movie? I don't know. It's tough.
I wonder if it used that language, like, because Color of Friendship using the N-word did not air on Disney. That was a thing that I discovered in watching it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think that this would have been tougher to cut around than that. Like this, they use it multiple times in multiple scenes.
It's a pretty integral part.
I think it's a part of it, and I think it was an important part of the movie as well. And so it's a really tough one. I think, like, for my money, I think this is one of the best movies that we've seen so far. I don't know where to put it as far as DCOMs go. Dano?
I hate this movie. I think that the best case scenario is if you watch this as a child and your parents weren't doing a great job parenting you, maybe you learned some basic human decency. And I don't say that sarcastically. I wasn't a great kid in middle school. And so, you know, I could have definitely chosen how I treated people better. And I think there is value in a 12-year-old watching this movie in 2002 and going, I need to treat people better. And I think there's value there. I also think there's value in the nuance of what it means to be a parent of kids with different abilities. And I think that is also great. I think if the movie did not have the video components, it could have been a very strong movie that also worked as a DCOM. But the problem is that it's not her story. It's not her story. It isn't. You can tell your story and include your brother because you love him, and that's awesome. But when you decide to exploit your brother, who does have agency, he has agency. I don't care if his brain is working at a 4-year-old level. Everyone has agency. When you decide to do that for your own personal gain, that's a lesson that's the secondary and tertiary lesson that happens after human decency. That's the one that actually sits in and sinks in. It's not your story. It isn't. And nobody told her that. Nobody told her it wasn't her story. And so unfortunately, she exploits her brother for her own personal gain. And even if she didn't mean to do it, the impact is still there. And I hated that. I hated that for everyone involved. I hate that it's celebrated, and I hate that it was on the Disney Channel. Having said that, that's not how most people are watching these movies. And I'm trying my best to couch that with the fact that most people are watching for that basic message, right? And I didn't mind the R word. I didn't mind them saying handicap because those two things are things we wouldn't say now, but we would say then, and people would say, and that's a good way to learn those lessons. And I hope that 12-year-olds learn some good human decency, and I hope that parents saw themselves and saw that it's really hard, and they were encouraged by the fact that nobody gets it right, not even DCOM parents. But I can't I can't not think more about the other side of this movie, which drove me nuts, and I really, really hated it. And if it was about which movie do I want to watch again, this would be dead last. Mm-hmm. So there's that. But I didn't see it as a kid. So sorry that was so more than it needed to be.
I think that is an excellent point that I wasn't thinking about at 12.
No, I don't think you should be asked to. Yeah.
But watching it today, like, it's weird that she has everyone so involved in the first draft of her movie.
That's right.
And then when she decides to make it more personal, absolutely nobody says anything. Nobody wants to see it. And there are points along the way where, as a parent, I think you should be a little bit more involved in content that your child... Like Dee/Mom's biggest issue with seeing Tru's post on the message board was, I want to respond to her, but I don't want her to be mad at me. Whereas what I was thinking about watching it was like, you should go have a talk with your daughter that she's posting on message boards using her real information.
Yeah.
And so I know that the internet was new.
Yeah.
But my biggest concern watching it was like, there's not a whole lot of like what you're putting out there.
You've seen First Kid. Anybody can get,
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Taken at the mall.
But yeah, so that's an excellent point. Is just, I think the parents and Eddie should have been involved in what video she was including, because like when the video turns slightly negative to showing, Eddie having a meltdown at the store, Eddie watching it was shocked that this was like, he was like, oh, like,
yeah,
he was excited to be a movie star,
100%,
and then the movie takes a tonal shift, and the people in the room, like, it's an important piece of filmmaking, but she made all those decisions.
You may not have, but I know a lot of us, myself included, have been in a situation where there is someone in your school, in your community with some sort of developmental delay or disability, and that person is used as a mascot or used as a rah-rah cheering thing. And in some cases, I'm sure that person in their agency has really been involved, and in other cases, it hasn't. And the answer is always, but look at them. Look how much they love it. Look how they love it over there. That's what this movie is for 86 minutes. And that is the thing that drove me up the wall. Yeah. If she's not making a movie, if she's just learning, hey, I'm treated differently because I am different. I'm angry, and that's okay to be angry. My parents don't always get it right. And my brother should be loved for who he is. And if you don't love him for who he is, then I'm either going to push you off a bridge. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen again, or I'm going to protect him from that. Then this movie's amazing. Yeah. It's great. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, we get the thing that drives me nuts. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think that message would have been pretty easy to work in.
Yeah.
And would have helped, kids like me that watched this movie and said, I want to make movies like that. Like, I want to make movies that make a difference, because that's what the message of the movie is. And so that's why this is a tough movie for me, because it's like...
It's seminal for you. It mattered.
And it didn't, of course, as a 12-year-old, you're not going, well, what about Eddie? Like, Eddie didn't get to say. Like,
that's right.
That's not a part of the message. So...
Right, they just show you Eddie being excited at the end.
That's right.
That he's
happy.
Movie.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So, it's a tough one. But
he has he has multiple heart-to-hearts with Tru, and so they show in the movie that he does, and Tru is always advocating when the mom's like,
correct,
he doesn't know better, and she's like, he does know better.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, Tru, on one hand, you recognize that he needs to be given, treated in a different way than we're treating him. He knows what he's doing, And so then you also need to treat him that way. You can't just yell at your mom and be like, you need to give him rules. You also need to treat him and talk to him like the person he is.
The better version of this would have been she makes the last version of the movie first, and people go, hey, no. And then she makes the first version of the movie last. That's where you educate people on this and how it's affected you and what the brain is like. That is actually what we should be learning here. And instead, that was played for science laughs.
Or even
and
like
the
a version
second one was
of
played for inspiration porn. That's what happened.
I think if the family starts to learn to communicate better, and then it becomes a family project.
It would be amazing.
To go through these clips together, have Eddie be like, Eddie laughing at these moments of them, playing soccer, and having the family involved in what goes into this portrayal of them is a better option than her being so secretive about it in her bedroom.
Yeah.
That's bigger than my apartment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
So Disney, when you hire Mark Wahlberg and you are making the sequel to this, we have notes, and we're here to consult.
And I believe you said it, Tru Confessions, Extinction.
Age of Extinction.
Age of Extinction. Perfect.
Good. Well, we talked. It's tough. It's tough to make the list, but we're professionals.
Yeah, we are.
And someone has to do it. Why not us? Why not now? Aaron, where are you putting Tru Confessions on your list?
This movie's going to air in my top 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Bold.
This movie's not going to premiere in my top 10, if you can believe it. Brandon, I know it's probably your number one right now, but...
Well, it's Brink and
Tru Confessions. What a double feature. Brink and
knocked Brink down
Tru Confessions.
This movie is going to premiere at 28.
It's 28 on my list, too. Wow. Same spot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few that I hadn't seen until we did this podcast, and so therefore they don't have... so this one is going to beat out those, Can of Worms and Under Wraps that I never watched as a kid, and... yeah, they were good movies, but I don't care. So that sentimental factor is going to bump it up a little bit. But it is right behind Xenon the Sequel and right ahead of Hounded. So I have a Shia LaBeouf double feature in my list. True Confessions
Mine
by
too, but I have
Hounded.
True Confessions behind Hounded.
Yeah, I just think I'd rather cry about it than watch that rabid dog
Hounded's
scene again.
75 minutes and Shia's a bully in it and he's funny. Give me that over True Confessions.
I just can't get
I
through
get it. It's fair.
that rabid
It's fair.
dog scene that lasts 45
Neither
minutes.
are good. Neither are good.
Can't. So yeah, my top 10 hasn't changed. We've got 10, 'Twas the Night, 9, Xenon, 8, Phantom of the Megaplex, 7, Halloween Town, 6, The Luck of the Irish, 5, Smart House, 4, Miracle in Lane 2, 3, Johnny Tsunami, 2, Cadet Kelly, and 1, Motocross.
This is going to change. As mentioned, this is the hardest movie I've ever had to put on a list. I could say it. This is the hardest movie I've ever had to put on a list.
It's not surprising to me, but also wild at the same time.
Yeah, it's gonna go to 17 on my list. Is where it's gonna start.
It's lower than I thought it would be.
And then I'll just kind of sit with it there for a while. It's behind Alley Cat Strike. It's ahead of Genius for me. So that's
Behind Alec, of course.
that's where we are.
Yeah.
My top 10 is the same. Jet Jackson 10, Double Teamed 9, Phantom 8, Mom's Got a Date 7. It's about time to rewatch those. Luck of the Irish 6, Smart House 5, Cadet Kelly 4, Motocross 3, Johnny Tsunami 2, and number 1, the greatest movie of all time, and not sad, Brink.
And for those of you who were wondering, still no word from Brand's wife. So that wellness check
That's
on
right.
her has gone unanswered so far.
If he did it, he may have done it. That's what we're saying.
I
Yes.
just want to say
Yes.
this. I wouldn't kill my wife.
The way you said that makes me think otherwise. I want to say this. I wouldn't kill
Listen,
my wife.
Other people? Verdict's out.
Man, slippery slope though.
Just haven't heard from her.
It's
so.
a slippery slope. I can see that.
True Confessions is 28 on my list too, and I got to be honest. If it's about rewatchability, it's probably last. But I just felt like some movies like Ready to Run and The 13th Year and Xenon the Sequel and Rip Girls and Your Lucky Dog, You Lucky Dog, and The Jenny Project and Stepsister from Planet Weird all are actively bad. Like this movie's trying to be good, and it has. I honestly think I put it at 28 because of the performances.
Performance alone.
I think across
Yeah.
the board, the performances are anywhere from solid to great. So that kept it from being. I think it is technically bottom 10.
Could you
I think
imagine Kimberly J. Brown as True?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? She
I
probably
absolutely
would have won
can.
me over.
But I thought that I've already forgot her name for what it's worth, but I did think she was good
No,
in this
she
movie.
was really good.
And the chemistry she had with Shia,
Yeah.
I bought them as siblings
Yeah, I
for,
did too.
for what that's worth.
Shia's a really talented actor. I don't know if this is. I mean, I think the story of this makes it tough. Like he was committed, and I think that's
That's one thing you can always say about Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, he's not
Committed.
going to be not committed. Although he also could be committed from time to time, and it would not hurt him. Like both of those things are my top 10. Smart House 10, 9 Quince, 8 Brink, 7 Miracle in Lane 2, 6 Cadet Kelly, 5 Halloween Town, 4 Phantom of the Megaplex, 3 Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, 2 Johnny Tsunami, and 1 Motocross. Best DCOM by far.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. Next week it's back to fun. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun,
Hijinks.
everybody.
Wake
I don't
up!
know.
It's me. It's you.
It's Get a Clue. I can't wait. And Dan, I think we're doing the Phantom of the Megaplex Halloween rewatch. That's gonna be at your house.
We got it on. It's on. It's going to be. It's on the calendar.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'll send you an invite. Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Until then, maybe the first to wish you a DCOM.
Descendants. DCOM Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast produced in Greenville, South Carolina, at the Bramble Jam Podcast Network Studios. It's produced by Brandon Gray. And you can follow us at DCOM Descendants on the socials, dcompodcast.com. And yeah, that's about it. Leave us a rating and review, please.
Bye.